Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on over to another episode of Speak the Truth podcast. I'm your host, Matt Tardio. Holy cow, man. I was over at the airport in Dallas today, and you know it's going to be a good day because nobody was running around naked. Now, I spent the entire good chunk of the afternoon doing a lot of research on the Gaza Strip and all the places that the IDF's been floating around. And I am telling you right now, I was doing my best to search for protest videos, and they are not as easy to find as you might think they are with all the hype of all the protests going on. There's not that much coming out of Gaza. There's really not. But I'll tell you right now, you guys are going to be a little bit shocked at some of the stuff that I did end up finding and who's getting schwacked and why. So I've got a lot of great airstrike for you guys. Got a lot of great airstrike videos and stuff like that coming up for you guys. And I've got some other things going on. And we're going to be talking about a couple places in particular as soon as this little, there we go, let that sucker open up. I went ahead and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do my best because I haven't been able to find it. I actually went over to ISW today, a couple other locations, trying to figure out what the heck is going on in Gaza and where. So I was able to take a couple airstrikes and locate them out, and some of the other protests. We're going to talk about where some of the protests were allegedly taking place at. And it's funny because I can't seem to find them, even though everybody say that they're happening. AP Payne coming and gifting out 10 Speak the Truth memberships. Absolutely love it. But is there protests taking place? Absolutely. Is it as many as everybody's saying? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not convinced right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm not 100% convinced that all of that is currently going on. I do know that there is protest taking place. I do know that there is a reason those protests are taking place and where they're at. But are they to the extent and scale that they're saying? Because we're supposed to have more of them coming out tomorrow. Now, U.S. officials, check this out. You ready for this? I'm going to read this off. U.S. officials had told Axios that those B-2 bombers that we were talking about in Diego Garcia, yeah, those ones right there, those B-2s, you guys remember that? Up to 8 of them, I believe it was, I said, that ended up getting moved in there. We'd gone over and we threw it up, are not disconnected, all right, from President Trump's 2-month deadline for Iran. They are staged there just in case Iran doesn't frickin' pony up. James Lewis coming in gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships before we get in there. So turns out everything that we were talking about this morning is probably true, right? As we're saying that, no, these are getting moved over there in case Iran doesn't frickin' stop playing around. Now, this ended up happening today as well. This is the airport over inside of Sana'a, whatever the heck it's called, over in Yemen. Hey. Sometimes you just got to have that blue backlight. You know what I mean? This is the airport over inside Yemen. And allegedly, we ended up bombing this thing to frickin' smithereens. Well, there we go. That's about all you get out of that one. But yeah, allegedly, we ended up bombing it up. We can go take a look, see if we can find like some more. You know what? Why not? That's the only one that I ended up seeing, and it came out not that late ago. So let's see if I can't pull up some more real quick. But what they are saying is over the last 2 weeks, we've had close to 100 precision strikes taking place by both aircraft and Navy vessels coming out of the Red Sea. And we targeted over 80 military and infrastructure sites, as well as some other targets. And then you just kind of like, you dig a little bit deeper into there of what it was that we ended up hitting. And yeah, we've been crushing them, man. We have absolutely been crushing them. So we'll see how that all freaking ends up turning out in the end. But we're just going to keep bombing the crap out of them. Oh, yep. Wait, is this the same video? Yeah, it is. Different reporter, same video. It's like everybody gets the same crap out of there. Now, Defense Minister Katz over inside Israel. So we've got the B-2 bombers that are down over inside of Diego Garcia. If you were in a K-hole, question mark, we got a bot in here. Of course we got bots. Why don't we, like, what day would it be without a freaking bot? Of course, there's probably more than one, just to be perfectly honest with you, and you shouldn't be surprised at all. Prayers to you, Chatty. Loves Israel, Chat. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you, Donnie Reed. So Defense Minister Katz laid out clearly to the residents of Gaza, and I'm just going to quote him for you. He said, residents of Gaza, the IDF will soon operate with full force in additional areas of Gaza, and you will be asked to evacuate from combat zones for your own safety. The plans are already prepared and approved. Hamas is putting your lives at risk, causing you to lose your homes and more territory that will be integrated into Israel's defense formation. The first Sinwar destroyed Gaza, and the second Sinwar is ready to burn half of Gaza with his hands just to try and maintain his control rule. They sit safely with their families, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, he got up there and he just started talking and ended up saying, you know what? We are going to end up freaking bombing the crap out of Gaza. We're coming in full freaking strength. And I've heard all of these different locations, and we talked about it. And I'm going to reference this map a couple different times. I'm going to put it up there. It's a little bit hard, but I wanted something a little bit easier for you guys to be able to like kind of like track where we've currently got IDF locations. So there's one more that I didn't put up on here, but we'll talk about that here in just a sec. So we've got the IDF up here in the north, okay, and then we got the IDF down here in the south inside Rafah. These are two confirmed locations in which I was able to actually figure out that, yes, the IDF is over there according to open source. Now, when it came to the uprisings of all the uprisings taking place, what you see on the map, all right, where it says up, 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 all those green ones, that is where I've been able to actually find uprisings. I mean, actual evidence of the uprisings taking place. It seems like all of these different areas where they're taking place or where they're saying it's taking place, it's all just recirculated videos. Now, I don't know if that's because IDF has shut off like, communications and things like that, but I wouldn't think so. All right. But these are the locations that they're claiming. And some of the locations that they're claiming, as a matter of fact, let me get that back up on here. You guys will kind of see it. The locations that they're claiming these uprisings are taking place at, they're claiming that over in the Nasrat camp that there's uprisings taking place. They're claiming over at Deir Bala uprisings are taking place. Khan Yunis uprisings are taking place. Rafah uprisings are taking place. Over in Beit Lahia that the uprisings are taking place. But there's key airstrikes also that were taking place over in those areas where their uprisings were at. And if you guys will notice, I've got the IDF operating over here in Rafah all the way up over on the west side. And that's over there for a reason, because there is, believe it or not, some freaking credible information that says the IDF is all the freaking way over there. Can't make that crap up. I had no idea that they'd actually pushed that far, but they did, and they went over and they dismantled a bunch of rocket launchers, it would look like. Additionally, there's other claims that the IDF operating down inside of Rafah right now, saying that they ended up taking, Ended up taking some fuel trucks or something like that, like people, but no, I'm sorry, it was like ambulances, Red Cross shit. It's all unconfirmed. Wasn't able to find anything of the IDF actually doing that down there. Now, with all of that being said, that's what we're going to look at, and we're going to start tracking and seeing where these people are at and kind of how we went about doing it. Chad Lewis loves Israel. You're never alone, friends. Prayer mods, you tracking this? Oh, Chatty. Do I need to kick Chatty out? Who's Chatty? Apparently, this is the second time I've seen Chatty, so now I just got to go find Chatty. It's all right. Give me a sec. If the mods didn't get him, I guess we'll have to go get him. We'll have to go get him. Where'd he go? He's probably just going to have another one, but it's okay. He can go bye-byes. Yeah, Mod, if you're in here, just go ahead and give him the good old booty toot. I don't see him in here though. He's like hidden for me. That's kind of odd. That's really odd. I don't understand why I don't see him in there. Apparently he's making everybody really happy. Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him at all. James Lewis coming in, gifting I speak the truth. Or, I'm sorry, Ryan Wickham becoming a true supporter, and James Lewis coming in, donating to the beer fund. Greatly appreciate you, man. Greatly appreciate you. All right. Let's start getting back into this and let's start talking about it. People are saying Chatty's fine. That's fine. All right. So Deir Bala, Jabalia, Nazarat, Al Saraya, Falstein Square, which is actually over inside of Khan Yunis as well. Josser Building, Bani Sohila Roundabout. Maybe that was the one I was thinking. I don't know. I've looked all of these things up because they're all claiming it. And what I discovered when it comes down to social media and they're talking about it is that all of these places, like this post right here, if I was to take all of these, the protests are ongoing in 9 different locations: Deir Bala camp, Jabalia, blah, 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 blah. And that is what I'm seeing on all these different posts. The other thing is I'm seeing some of these same protest videos, right? And I believe this is one of the ones that ended up putting up earlier. Deir Bala one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to turn that stuff way down. I believe this is one of the ones that ended up putting up earlier. Matt trying to boot someone and didn't even know what's going on. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm just looking for someone to kick him out. Somebody saying mods and everything else. Drinking a Voodoo Ranger juicy IPA for you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. That is the same video, I think, that I played yesterday, and they're still all floating around. And people are like, hey, it's a scam, it's a scam. You can say it's a scam, but there is, as a matter of fact, protests taking place, and they're quite a bit. All right. Like, as we start looking at these, we start going through them. All right. We've got plenty of them, like large ones that are going on. All right. Over here in these areas. And when we talked about it, the first place that these end up getting reported on, and I didn't see the IDF coming out and saying absolutely not, this could have been happening, was all the way up in Beit Lahia, right? All the way up in the north is the first place. And that was after the IDF had moved into the location. Now, the crazy part is you guys say, no, it's not happening. And listen to me. I read a report today from the pro-Palestinian side, all right, from over inside of Gaza, and they claimed, all right, let me get this back up on the screen for you guys, because we did, like I said, have the IDF that was confirmed operating up in Beit Lahia. And what they were saying was that the IDF was attempting, listen to me now, listen to me, this came from the back channels on the pro-Palestinian side, listen to me, that the IDF was attempting to get local nationals to go in and fight alongside of them, basically to come in and hang out with them and do that. Now, that would make absolute sense. And what they said was nobody would sign up for it, which I kind of would tend to agree right now. I don't see anybody being like, yeah, bro, give me a rifle. Let's just go fight Hamas. No. And I don't see the IDF doing that either. What I see the IDF doing where all of these are taking place, and part of me is wondering if it's not over in Beit Lahia where all of that is taking place and they're just saying these other things, because I went balls deep into these other locations that are listed on there, and I mean balls deep. I was a little bit pissed off at how hard I had to look in order to find these. Matt has been wrong before, but just once. Yeah, this might be numero dos, but when I see pro-Palestinians reporting, I think at least there is some truth that goes into this. Can't trust any of them. Correct. Always last in line, coming and gifting out 5. There might be some truth to it in some of these different locations. I didn't see nothing about no uprisings down in Rafah. Couldn't find it. Didn't see it. And we'll go over and I'll show you the different ones I was able to find today. All right. Always last in line. Appreciate you, brother. So if they were in fact doing that and the pro-Palestinian channels are complaining about it, that the IDF is trying to recruit them from there, well, it may very well be happening. There is complaints of the IDF at least having artillery and or more. And it's really hard to tell when it comes from the Palestinian side and they're talking about IDF coming in, all right, or indirect fire or bombs dropping and everything else when it's the Palestinians that are complaining about it. There was a report over inside of Beit Lahia that they were actually, dropping bombs and things like that. Okay, so that's why that's up over there, because there is some stuff that goes along with it. Now, the only problem is that the Israeli Defense Force is also up in that region. All right. Oh, man. Oh, no, I put it up over. I did. I put the strike on Jabalia. We ended up taking out the media person. I forget his name, media spokesperson or whatever for those knuckleheads. Yeah, he got killed in an airstrike over inside of Jabalia. Was able to find, I think, a brief moment of footage of that, and I should be coming up here in just a little bit. Austin Wilcox says, looks likely Canada is going to have some trouble. Yeah, well, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Canada will be fine. They're just going to complain. But yeah, this is the image that's floating around going for the airstrike and or the mortars and or artillery that's going off over inside of Beit Lahia. And I don't believe that one to be true at all. Now, when it goes down to Khan Yunis, I believe that's where, when it goes down to Jabalia, like I said, I had to source because there's so many of these dang things that are allegedly going on. Like, you got to dig through the BS, because what people are doing is they're taking the information and they're saying this is happening in this location, but it's really not. And you're able to take that stuff and go back and look at it. So over inside Jabalia, we have this one that's taking place. Let me get these ones up on the screen for you. There you go. All right. So we've got other ones like that that are going on over inside of Jabalia. Now, we have some videos of it. We have what is said to be located footage of it coming out of there. And there's another large one that ends up coming out of there as well. But I'm not, again, like when it comes down to actually like precisely geolocating these things for where they're going, not 100% sure, but I at least want to tell you that I was able to find a couple of them, right, as we go into it. So that means that we were able to identify they were going on up over in Beit Lahia. They are going on up over in Jabalia. So we've got those ones. Now we're going to go down and we should be taking a look next at the Nazareth camp. BBG coming and gifting out 5, brother. And by the way, if the IDF is going to be kicking these suckers off, it's going to be going pretty freaking good. Now, oh, that's the stupid airstrike. It's just an article on the guy. There we go. There we go. Here's the airstrike video of that knucklehead journalist. That's what I ended up finding out. So this one of them bombing up over in Jabalia, that's what it was. Any reports of all of these coming out, or there's massive amounts of airstrikes and things like that, based off the information that I've seen, it's just the IDF really didn't drop too many. So this is that video that I shared the other day, that's that journalist getting freaking schwacked, allegedly. Or not journalist, that idiot. Now, the other thing that's happening over inside of Jabalia is they're complaining about kids getting hurt in that airstrike. I can't make this crap up. And they're sharing this one that goes along with it, okay? And they do look dirty, and one of those kids does appear to have some blood on their leg, and they're twitching. Clearly, they're not happy. I mean, let's be honest. Clearly, those kids are not happy. And when you see that scene right there, like the one that they're sharing, you're like, oh my God, those kids are going through some shit. They're pretty jacked up. And then I ended up seeing the actual original video of them coming in. And I'm not saying it's Pallywood at all. I'm just saying they might be exaggerating a little bit. That's them being sat on the table. That first clip that I showed you, thank you. Now, the only exception is this kid down here in the blue, right? The kid down there in the blue. That's the only exception, right? That kid in the blue. Watch the kid in the blue. They lay him down, and then we've got the twitching and stuff that's taking place. So that comes in, that happens, and then we've got a breakaway to another clip of some of that, all that other crap going on. Somebody says we need a new Discord link. Okay, friend, well, let me just go ahead and grab that sucker for you and throw it up in there. Give me one quick sec, and I will do my best to grab it, and we'll get that Discord link up and running. So again, as we look at this map and the different locations that all of that crap's coming from, we have not even freaking ventured away from the northern part of the Gaza Strip yet. And these are all things that are floating around online that you're able to grab, that you're able to go over, and you can freaking say, Matt, you're full of crap, or you can say, Matt, you're not. But either way, I like it when you guys end up, how do I want to say this? When you guys end up questioning it, you do your own due diligence. I'm just doing my best to provide you the information so that you guys can be like, yeah, that seems about right, you know? But if you guys aren't doing that, by all means, like you need to be doing it. All right. Let's get that back out of the way and get running back down. So now we should be moving up over into the Maserati. Now here's a problem: is this video is being reported, this airstrike right here, and you're going to see it. You're going to see this video that I'm going to be playing from one angle, and I believe you're also going to be seeing it playing from a separate angle as well, or this particular airstrike. Yep, there you go. There's your one little video that I ended up finding. Now that one, again,
Use AI to
I'm not quite sure if it is the location which they say it is. Stop making boom boom noises, man. Boom boom boom, ba boom boom, ba boom boom, ba boom, ba boom boom, ba boom. This one that's coming up right here is being reported, and it was geolocated, by the way. Let me get this little sucker up, and I'm gonna let you guys judge for yourself. So we're gonna go back and forth. This one is supposedly near Bahariya. Right. Let me get that up on your map so that you guys can kind of like track along where we're going with all this stuff. So we had the strikes and whatnot that were taking place up in Jabalia, the uprisings and all that crap up there, uprisings up in Jabalia. Then they're trying to claim that that one that I just showed you, that larger video of the airstrike coming in, was over at Nasrat. Now we're going down to this location over by Dirabala, okay? And it's gonna be up over here towards the coastline. And that X doesn't exactly mark the spot. I didn't do a very good job with it, but it's gonna be over by the coastline. You guys are gonna figure it out when I get this video up and running. Get ready for it. Here's that other airstrike. I'm gonna turn the volume down ahead of time because I know people are gonna complain about their ears. Get ready.
وردي والله زي ما كان يا ولد واحد
Yeah.
وردي والله زي ما كان يا ولد واحد وردي.
All right, I love you guys to death. I'm gonna have to take care of that Discord link here in just a sec. Did I not show you guys the video? Is that what I did? I didn't show you guys the video. God, I'm such a jerk. Oh, I'm so sorry. Look at all the people that are upset. Here, we'll blow it up big for you. Dude, it's not a freaking podcast without a mistake, baby. You guys want it one more time? You want it one more time? Yeah, my face is like, yeah, pretty embarrassed right now. It's like you got one job. That's why I shouldn't be multitasking. Here's the one coming out, like I said, out of Nazareth. And I believe this is actually just looking at it, the same video, but from a different angle. Okay, I believe you were looking at this particular strike from down here. Camera got turned on just a little bit later. Now, the reason I say that is that made a pretty distinct cloud, and you can see how that cloud kind of like goes up and it wraps back down and like up over towards the shoreline. And we can see that same thing in the next video here in just a sec, right? And so I think it actually did get captured from two different angles. Right, so there's that video. Kind of see how it does that thing, and you guys can tell me whether or not you think it's the same one or not. Let's go back to this other one that I believe it's the same one, because again, two different angles, and if that's the case, then it's going to put it further south than Nazareth, and we didn't actually have that airstrike take place over there. Now, unfortunately, this one's a little bit freaking slower than the other, but it kind of has that same little thing. And the more I look at it, the more I kind of question it. But it was just kind of like too close of a call, and I didn't have time to particularly go in and do the same geolocating crap myself. I see some people are saying the same, some people aren't. Same strike, different angles. That was kind of my take on it, which means it's going to push it even further south, and it's not going to be the Nazareth camp, if that's where you guys want to play it. That means that that sucker actually took place over in Dirabala. Now, why is that important to me? Why is that important? Because I also have actual footage of the uprisings taking place in Dirabala. So we get airstrikes, and on top of that, we also get uprisings. So where there's airstrikes taking place, I'm seeing a correlation of the uprisings at the exact same time. AP Payne says, I'm sorry to see no big balls, Emily, no Texas Actual, and Mighty Jew. Hope you're well and good. Hard work keeping up with war for over a year. Ah, dude, it ain't that hard. It's just work. It's work, 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 work. That's it. Next video that we're going to come up is allegedly coming out of Al Saraya. This is one of the locations that they did say it was taking place. I don't believe I actually marked that one on the map. Maybe I did. Maybe that was the one down at Khan Yunis. Yeah, I believe that was it. Yeah, that one right there. That's going to be your next video that we're going to have coming up here in just a sec. All right, let me get that one up and going. I really need to get like a whole freaking film for you guys. Now, if I remember right, this uprising that they're claiming right here, I believe this is the one that I saw taking place like 2 nights ago. Love the reference. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Rudisaur! Heck yeah, man. What's up, buddy? All right, now, also, we're going to go back down. All right, these are going to come out of Dirabala as well. Boom, hold on. Another airstrike from Dirabala. You guys ready for this? Because it's going to be, I believe we got a couple different catches of it. Here's another airstrike coming at you guys out of Dirabala. That's a pretty good one. I don't know. That's a pretty dang close call as far as that airstrike goes. And then we end up having other imagery and stuff like that of airstrikes that were taking place down there. You can actually see several of them going off. And that just leads me again to wonder if all of these airstrikes are actually taking place over inside of Gaza, why isn't there more? Because the exact, like we saw this crap over and over and over again the last time, but we're not seeing it this time. It's starting to really drive me insane. And it's making me wonder whether or not the IDF has like just closed all of that crap off. Now, here's another one that's coming out of Dirabala. And they're claiming that this particular airstrike ended up taking out the Al-Kalak family, and they're all complaining about it. But I love the angle on this one. Like Dirabala is getting, like Dirabala has been getting some love. It's been getting some absolute love. Yep, sucks to be them. So that one's going off down over there in Dirabala, and they end up running up there. I don't think we really see anything out of that whole video. It's just people running around, be like, ah, like going in and looking through it. It's nothing. It's just a bunch of guys running around looking like a bunch of knuckleheads. All right, now here's the other interesting thing that is ended up getting taking place over in Dirabala as well. Like I said, they're reporting that these uprisings and all that stuff are supposedly coming out of there. But also it would look like is that the Israelis are dropping flyers in order to incite a coup, essentially, against Hamas. Let me get those blown up on the screen for you. I haven't seen these ones before. Personally, I haven't, and I don't read squiggly, so I couldn't tell you if that's actually what they're saying. I'm just telling you on what's being reported as it comes out. Scuba Greg, buddy, what's up, bro? Just put into a hotel due to a blizzard. Maddie in a hotel room with a beer, my favorite kind of night. Hell yeah, bro. Welcome back over to some freaking weird war battle track and stuff that we got going on. Thumper coming in with 2. He says, how likely do you think it is that Iran is next? Well, to answer your question, Thumper, I would go all the way back to one of the very first things I told you about, which was a U.S. official, according to Axios, told them that the deployment of B-2 bombers to Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean is not disconnected from President Trump's 2-month deadline for Iran. Meaning that all of these aircraft over inside Dirabala are exactly what we were talking about. That they may very well, or some of them, or a chunk of them, may be finding their way up over into Iran. That's exactly what we're talking about right here. So how likely is it? Pretty likely because, they're still screwing around. We had ballistic missiles that ended up getting shot over at Israel earlier today. These are those flyers I was talking about earlier. Or I'm sorry, not earlier today, yesterday. Brain fart. Because now it's later here, so Israel would be today, but for Israel it would be yesterday, even though it's today here in the United States of America. Whew, gotta love reporting news from across the world. There we go. So tell them to rise up and go up over against Hamas. So if we already had those uprisings that were taking place, ladies and gentlemen, it's my birthday every freaking day. If we had those uprisings that were taking place, I just don't feel like the IDF would be like reporting on it, right? But to get in the question of how serious is it? Like, do I think Iran is about to get the freaking brakes blasted off on him? Yeah, I really, really do. I really, really do. And here's why. Because I ended up reading a report from the IAEA. If you guys were watching this morning's show, you know exactly what the hell you're about to hear. And the IAEA said in 2 different towns, in Veriman and Turkozabad, let me grab my handy dandy map. Now I got to go all the way out of Gaza and come back over here. So what the IAEA said in one of their latest reports, just south of Tehran, right down over here, and you can see them. There's Veriman right there, and then Turkmenistan, whatever, Turkmenistan, just south of Tehran. In those 2 locations, just south of Tehran, is where they ended up finding 2 sites, right, with enriched uranium or presence of, meaning that they were enriching it. So it's like particles and crap floating through the air that were all the way down there, just outside of Tehran. So why the hell does that matter? Because those 2 locations were not disclosed to the IAEA, and Iran is a signatory to the NPT, which means they are supposed to be abiding by it, but currently they are not, or at least that's what it would look like, that they're in non-compliance. Now, we had some guys from the freaking, can't even remember the dang general's name right now, but he had gone up over in front of Congress and he had stated, all right, in testimony, that Iran is, 7 to 14 days out of being able to launch a nuclear weapon. 7 to 14 days. 7 to 14 days. So if we're down on the low end of that, I want you to think about this. If the bulk of their uranium is spun up to 60%, and we already know they're not in compliance, and it's 7 days, what do you think the chances are they need to sit there and spin some more of that crap until they get it to where they need to go? They're going to throw it in a weapon and be able to take it and freaking blast that sucker off at Israel in any sort of a timely manner. Like, really, you're gonna take it, you're gonna freaking get your enriched uranium, then you're gonna place it in the freaking warhead, and you're gonna all that shit done in the next 7 days. How about we know, that would be my assessment, we know that they have enriched the uranium and they're getting ready to go do it. And that is why those freaking stealth bombers are over there, ladies and gentlemen, in Matt's opinion, and they're going to be used. Steve V, USS Nimitz and the Carl Vinson just deployed to back up the Harry S. Truman. 3 aircraft carriers in the Middle East at the same time. It's getting real. Dude, you should see the amount of aircraft carriers we had floating around freaking Taiwan. I think it was like this time last year. Maybe, dude, it was a buttload. Sheba Cat coming in. Hell yeah, Sheba. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So that's a big deal. All right. The fact that they would be in non-compliance with the NPT, they've been lying to the IAEA, haven't been fully freaking transparent with them and everything else. All right. All of that BS going on. Plus, the Ayatollah has been oddly quiet. He just hasn't been running his freaking mouth lately. So if all of that is happening, well, that means that the U.S. is likely going to be dropping bombs up over on Iran here in the near future. Who the F is going to trust Iran? Not me, and hopefully not you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's a buttload of hardware. Larry, welcome over to becoming a true supporter, my friend. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you guys really want to look into those two locations, the IAEA, you guys can go over there and you can check them out. You can look up their latest reports. A lot of stuff going on over in Syria right now. Basically, a lot of freaking like fighting of one tribe to another. People are killing each other, and that the interim government is coming in and trying to take care of a lot of that garbage. Long story short, Yemen is about to get hit. Now, for those that don't know, Ramadan is done on Saturday. So Saturday night, we could have bombs fallen on Iran. And I swear to God, man, if the U.S. government decides to drop bombs on Iran, when I'm out of state, I'm going to be super, super, super livid. But that would be a good guess. Also, tomorrow night would be a very good guess. So that's happening in the very near future. At some point in time, Israel is going to go in and they're going to launch that assault on Gaza. They just gave the warning today from Defense Minister Katz. We've got updated freaking data and stuff from the maps of like all around the dang place of what was going on down over there. So we know the IDF's been at all of these like, different locations where they're up in there in blue. There was reported to be IDF moving into Khan Yunis, and I don't know if it was just a probe or anything, but I wasn't able to get any like confirmation that they were out on the outside of it. But this whole region all the way around the Gaza Strip has basically turned into an evacuation zone. They're telling people to basically go towards the center, right? And we also know we got the Nazarene corridor lockdown. So there is your update as far as the map is concerned. How you guys feeling about all that crap? I hope you guys are feeling good. Tommy Zinneman, thank you for becoming a true supporter, buddy. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up closing out this live session. I'm going to go over and I'm going to end up posting a new Discord link as soon as I can pull it off, because for some reason my brain's not functioning correctly right now and I need to pull it off of there and post that new Discord link so you guys will be able to see it there. If you guys haven't yet, please like and subscribe to the channel. Peace, love, happiness.